Hello, fellow Tertiarans. It has come to my attention that Youngtan, a card's art that I praised in extreme detail in my last video, despite intricately dissecting the hidden lore and deeper meaning out of, got fucking removed from the game. I'm so pissed. What the fuck? Okay. So you want to know the person responsible for spitting on the pristine image of Tertiaric? Fluffle. Go figure. He was never the type of person to appreciate true art. Always with the jokes and the gags and the guffaws, never seeing the big picture. The big picture that's been woven by Tertiaric. Fluff doesn't realize that he's just a side character, that he needs to stay in his lane. We, the Tertiary community, will not stand for attempts to scrape away at his legacy. Before we continue with the breakdown of this new version of Youngtan, let me replay my breakdown of its previous, superior iteration. Youngtan. This one has a certain energy I can't exactly put my finger on. Youngtan appears to be standing in a yellow void with two swords in his hands. Now, despite being a colorless card, he's in front of a yellow background. Why could that be? I've spent day and night thinking about this, and only recently have I come up with a conclusive reason. Looking at Youngtan's description, it reads, one sword for trust, one sword for betrayal. As we all know, people marked by the devil at birth grow up to be left-handed. Conversely, this must mean that the sword in his left hand is the sword that was used for betrayal. But this raises the question, who did he betray? I believe that Youngtan may have been a knight at one point, using the trusted sword to protect his land. Eventually, on his path of good, he was tempted by the devil himself. You see, Youngtan loved swords. He picked up any sword he found, until he picked up the wrong one. The betrayal sword was cursed and it possessed him, which led him to kill his fellow knights. Eventually, he was caught and exiled from the colorless kingdom. Youngtan was lost on his way of the path of good. However, the yellows brought him in, despite him being colorless. This explains why he is a colorless card that looks like a yellow card. You probably didn't realize any of this until I blatantly spelled it out to you. Tertiaric is a master of storytelling. Someone who can give you a clear and deep understanding of a character just from one picture alone. Now this is what I call trash garbage. Not even Arceus Dawn can top this in the category of laziness. The energy Youngtan had? Lost. The deeper meaning? Forget about it. There's no yellow background, which leads me to believe Youngtan went back to the colorless kingdom to claim more souls. All of his character development from the last iteration is long gone. And where is Youngtan even supposed to be? Some kind of blackwash void? Not to mention the swords. What was Fluffy Fun thinking when making them neon? Excuse me? They aren't freaking lightsabers! Contrast this with the old art. His swords are slightly glowing, implying heat and power. In this new art, they look like freaking glow sticks! And to top it all off, there's these obnoxious red and white lines everywhere. Do you think me for a fool? That I just let these blaring issues fly under the radar like this? No, we Tertiarans know better. We know better than most of the clowns that blocks cards HQ. In other news, some information on Tertiaric from those who have worked with him have been recently brought to my attention. From what I can glean from these conversations, it seems as though Tertiaric was a man of firm belief, someone who knew what they stood for, and stood by it. Someone who takes no liberties in his field of work. The type of boss that utilizes those below him as tools to shape and mold his creative vision into conception. These are the qualities of a true leader, someone we take for granted. Some say he was strict. Some even say he was a menace. But this fact still stands that Tertiaric certainly is. And we can't fault him for that.